And if we ask the stars what they mean, what would they say back to us? Welcome. You want to go on a card journey today? Give me some of your time, and I'll give you some of your story. Well, let's see what the cards say. Hey there, Cancer. Welcome to Koi Place Tarot. My name is Koi, and I'm going to be your tarot card reader here today. As a set of quick announcements, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification button. That way, when uploads are made, you can see what the stars are trying to say to you. Also, if interested, individual reads are back up and open, so either message or email me directly. Link is on main, and yeah, we'll get those set up, right? So, what are we looking at today for my crab people? It's been a while. I do acknowledge this. There's been a lot of life changes happening both for me individually, but also people across the world pretty much. And because of this, I hesitated to just come back and do my usual first and last styles of reading where we see what cycles in, what cycles out, and what energies are flowing in between, right? I wanted to get rid of that because that was a very time sensitive. It had to be done at a very specific time, but also it doesn't feel appropriate given all dynamics happening right now in Cancer. So because of that, I switched it to what I call ATCs as things change. And here we start and end with the fives. Fives, if you watch the Learn With Me series, it's in the playlist. The fives mainly address issues of conflict, how we feel about it, how we operate, how we process it, what we hope to gain from them, right? We jump right in instead of trying to see, things that flow out and things that flow in. No, let's get the hard part out of the way and hopefully come to bigger and better conclusions afterwards. Yeah. So, preamble to the read, Cancer. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but don't always be so willing to reverse. At times, it even gets difficult. Understand that I, as your tarot card reader, I'm not here to misguide you and mislead you. Trust me, I have 12 signs for every style of reading. I do not have the time to lie to any of them. It takes way too much effort. Instead, I call it like I see it. We lay all our cards out on the table, and good or bad, come rain or sunshine, we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, tarot is a conversation, just an energetic one. So follow along with me in your read today, Cancer. Your As Things Change read. Let's see what's going on with the crab people. And yeah, let's see what the cards say. We're going to go over and start with your home element of water, here being the Five of Cups. Show us the cards that we need to see, please. And so, if you've ever seen one of my videos before, when I say the cards must first hit the table for me to take them, yeah, that's how that looks. We have a total of 4. What do we feel? Oh, got it. So I'll start from the top and work out. 6 of Wands, the notion of a victory that should feel like a victory. Ace of Swords, learning the truth. Hierophant, the card of Taurus, good because at time of recording, we're just kicking off Taurus season. And the Moon, the card of Pisces. It should feel better than this. And I can understand why, Cancer. This is the 6 of Wands. Let me explain why. The 6 of Wands represents energetic recognition, right? I put in that hard work. I put in that effort. Yeah, it's going right. It feels good. And what we said once was definitely a spiritual path, or at least something we wanted to dedicate ourselves to, because we feel something's deeper. Was getting at you is not necessarily the fact that you think that it's wrong. I'm not getting that impression at all, actually. It's that you think that you should know everything that's happening behind the scenes, and it's kind of eating at you that you don't have a definitive answer upon that. Why that is not entirely clear, but we have our truth and then we have the truth. Our truth, very tied up with that Hierophant. No, I made the right call. This was a great decision. I'm not doubting that in any way possible, but I still feel there's something I'm not getting about my purpose here, right? And so that 5 of Cups coming out is more of an existential reminder that we could check all the boxes and still not have gotten the answers that we thought we would, right? Universe is funny in that way because it'll send the answers just in these roundabout ways, but you're going to get what you ask for. And here, if pursuing one path that we definitely did right, we're saying, yeah, we're succeeding in that. That feels absolutely great. And we did everything right. Then why do we feel kind of empty? Why do we feel like we don't know, like there's something abstract that's missing here? the missing piece is the part that I don't get. And so I want you to be ready to explore that, because to have all that underneath your Five of Cups, I don't want you to lose sight of the good things that you have done, right? Let's go to the Five of Pentacles. What do you feel left out from? That's quick. Okay, well, that was quick. And yeah, that makes sense. Four of Wands in the reverse. What goes along with that Four of Wands in the reverse? Some of the cards we need us to see for the crab people upon the Five of Pentacles in this read. Because, why is that imperative? Six of Cups. Eight of Wands. Okay. Somebody's a little bit lovesick. Here's what's going on. Yeah, I'm picturing somebody who made a big career leap or a massive move in some way, shape, or form. The thing that's eating at you right now, Cancer, everything in my life went perfect. I got the job. I'm doing the opportunities. I got a chance to do all the things I like. I'm exploring new things. And I don't have a person to share it with, right? Six of Cups, a soul bond type of energy, wanting to meet a type of a relational dynamic that cannot be replicated. They hold a special place in my heart. The Eight of Wands, finding direct communication, finding that intentionality, and either speaking that directly to said person or speaking that out into the universe. And then interestingly, if we had the Eight of Wands here, we had the Four of Wands, but in the reverse. Four of Wands, 1111, make a wish, if you've ever heard of that phrase. Oftentimes represents the solidity of a relationship. What do my intentionality plus that intentionality add up to be together? Here in the reverse, if everything's going right, then why don't I have somebody to share it with? Cancer, it can't always be about a relationship. But I do understand where you're coming from, right? The idea that we're feeling like, everything's falling into place, but why can't I get this one aspect right? What's going on? And you're feeling left out. But right now, to be totally honest, that's not what you need to be focusing on. I think that, yes, you do definitely want to have, the loving and intimate feelings and somebody to share all this experience and this massive leap of life that you're doing very well, right? I do commend you for that. However, when push comes to shove, we're in the place that we are right now for a reason. And instead of trying to expand that, we're chalking it up to as I have everything and I have nothing at the same time. That's a lot. That's a big conflicting idea, Cancer, because of all the success I saw underneath your Five of Cups. You mean to tell me you made this massive promotion? You moved to a different place. You did all these different things. I'm just throwing out these different examples that's coming to mind, Cancer. And all you can think about is getting booed up. Like there has to be more to this than just hoping to have a romantic partner, right? And so you will be forced to sit still and try to be okay with the unknown and let the unknown reveal itself. In the meantime, I wish it was, different, or, this person's on their way, but it doesn't seem like that right now. Right now, you are firmly meant to be solo with a purpose, and you haven't dug at that as to why yet. Let's go to the Five of Wands. How do we engage in the conflict? Show us cards we need to see, please, for the Cancerian collective upon that Five of Wands in this reading. Two of Cups. Okay. Yep. Still signs of an intimate partner, or at least somebody you want to be with here. Nine of Cups. We're giving our best effort, in Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, someone's feeling a little bit love scorned and in a love drought right now. That's fair, Cancer. I'm not gonna ever judge somebody for how they handle their heart preciously, right? Five of Wands again is a card of energetic conflict, right? How do we deal with confrontation directly? Here, what I'm seeing for you, you probably went on a few dates or had at least a few outings, and let's do some math here. And please do not take this the wrong way because it can be easily misinterpreted. You met these people, very many different people. Some had potential, some didn't, and none of it panned out. And instead of asking, strike out again as to why, we're just saying, no, there's something wrong with me. Really? I don't believe that. I firmly don't believe that because you're giving your best, and the Ace of Pentacles is constantly coming up with new opportunity, meet more people, meet more people. Not everybody that you meet has to be quote unquote the one. I'm looking at somebody right now who is just, hey, they're tired of the dating game, and hey, I can completely understand that. But instead of having the introspection of saying, okay, this is the 18th failed date, or you're a cool person, but you're not a cool person for me. Instead of sitting with our why as to that, going back to that moon over here underneath your Five of Cups, instead of sitting with that why, we chalk it up right now emotionally and energetically to being a failure of the self. Am I totally unlikable and undateable? Absolutely not. In fact, I've done all these great and right things for me. This one aspect just seems to be in such a drought, but the reality of the situation is they weren't right for you because they weren't right for you. And a phrase that I massively disagree with, and I have my own opinion about, right person, wrong time, or something like that, something along the lines of that phrase, where in my opinion, it's right person, right place, right time all the time. And if it was right, they'd be right here for you, right? The people that you're meeting with all the success you had, at least in terms of that major league that you had, Cancer, they're not all meant to be, these endless romantic journeys. Sometimes, even if they're cool, awesome people, they can still not be right for you, and that is okay. I think that where you are at right now, we're kind of in a space of hurt. I do not want that to be your operating principle moving forward. Every person you're meeting right now, especially the ones that you find really cool, and yeah, we didn't work out as, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you want to say, but yeah, that didn't work out. Doesn't mean you're not valuable. Doesn't mean I don't want you in my circle, at least one of my friends, right? Maybe this is a way to expand in that way. But right now, you have to deal with the fact that all these dates are failing intentionally and for a reason. In terms of that intimate or, long-term partner bond that we're, saying that we're seeking out, they're failing spectacularly for a reason. Now it's time to remember your why. Why are we so uncomfortable with just ourselves alone? Going to the Five of Swords. And so the internal monologue, show us the cards that we need to see, please. We're canceling this read as things change. What makes us so uncomfortable alone? Let's dig at that for a second. Five of Swords and more Five of Swords. Knight of Wands. Okay, there we go. I see the action, I see the effort, and the Tower. Underneath it all, the Eight of Swords. If we keep on telling ourselves that we are unlovable, we're going to find ways to try to prove to ourselves that we are unlovable. That's not an inevitability. It is unintentional seeking, right? And so that Five of Swords, you are really seeing this as not simply an additive aspect of your life, Cancer, but as a principal core value at this point that is definitive of your character. The thing is, while we have been feeling better to recognize our own accomplishments and pursuits, we feel like it's caving in around us because, again, we feel like it's going to get swept away from us. And I don't understand the motive as to why, but given everything that's happened across the board so far, I'm looking at somebody who, at the core of the matter, where they're saying right now, and please do not take offense to this, remember, I do everything with love. You are not comfortable with being alone. You are not at all comfortable with being alone. And so what you're coming to a shocking and very headstrong realization about is that all this stuff is not meaning anything to you because you can't share it with somebody. But I'm going to push that a bit further. You want that person not in your life, but as proof that you made it. It's just another example of success for you. It does not necessarily look like you're looking for love. You're just looking for a relationship. You love the idea of love, but you do not love somebody that you can direct that with right now, because otherwise you'd be asking different questions. Again, I do this with love. I do this with love, Cancer. But from what I'm seeing, we feel like everything's crumbling apart because why do we feel so bad to have success in everything alone? Find who we are, find the things that we like, pursue the things that we want to do. You are defining yourself in relationship to relationships or the status of being in one without actually wanting to experience all that which it entails. And so why is none of this stuff working out? Because maybe, just maybe, right now, you're better off alone. You are in a state of growth, a state of transformation, and all of that is going well and good. But the moment we start to contemplate this, we almost become obsessive over, hey, this would be the fitting to all the last fitting piece to everything I see going right. And without realizing that our hyper focus of wanting to be booed up, that just means that's another way of asking the universe, oh, please just bring me a boyfriend, bring me a girlfriend, never do that. Word of advice as a tarot card reader, spiritualist, etc., never just ask for the abstract of a relationship, because the universe does not hear a desire, it hears a vice, right? To say that you just want a random person who does not account for your wants, your dreams, your goals, how well compatible you are, how we resolve conflict together, what makes us work, what makes us doesn't, what makes us not work, or what doesn't make it happen. To ask all of that in the abstract means you're going to get an abstract relationship that will crash and burn. And right now, energetically, Cancer, I'm looking at somebody who is very prone to just, we're going to take a good candidate and try to make them into the person that's fit for us. That is a recipe for disaster right now. And that is why you're being held away from all these things, because again, it's not right for you in that way. But we're uncomfortable with sitting with that because we chalked it up to a failure of the self rather than the reality of our situation. These things, these dates, these, missing connections and things like that right now, they're actually exactly where they need to be. Internally, you are not where you need to be yet. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. Let's find that person first. Let's be okay alone. Whew, that's a toughie. Next, can I get one card underneath every 5 on the board? There we go. Yep. That's rolled out in the reverse. I'm going to take it in the reverse. What is normally direct communication, intentionality, and impact, the 8 of Wands upright. In the reverse, hard stop. Hard stop. What we feel like we're trying to communicate with or trying to get moving is coming to a screeching halt. And yeah, the reason being is because we love the idea of love, but we do not love a person yet. And until that, is truly fleshed out of what you want for that, and also trying to live a life that includes them in that way, yeah, that's going to be the output. Is it pretty? Not the prettiest, but is it real? It is the realest. Underneath the 5 of Pentacles, yeah. The power of manifestation, but here you're manifesting, while you say you want a relationship, you're manifesting your own solitude. The universe is hearing you, is bringing you all these different, candidates and, potential people with potential, etc. But at the end of the day, if you're not ready for a relationship, you're not ready. And that's okay. It's okay to be alone. 5 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Okay. Yeah. The feeling of success that we can put ourselves out there time and time again, that this isn't breaking us. I get it. These are totally natural feelings to have. Enjoy them. You're single right now for a reason, and that's good. Last, the Sun. Yeah. In spite of all the harsh things I had to say, Cancer, and I really wanted you to sit with that, and I need, if you clicked away during that, then my apologies because you didn't get to the good part yet. But for those who have stayed, the Sun came out. Then maybe, just maybe, no, I'm in the right place. Even if it doesn't feel normal, doesn't mean it's not right for me. If we're a serial relationship dater, or we just hop from one person to the next, maybe the best thing we can be is alone, as an example. If we are so focused on the idea of having a trophy wife or a trophy husband, you can't love somebody on a pedestal. You can only admire them from afar. It will not be a whole person. It'll just be a trophy. All these things need to be put into consideration before we just chalk it up to being a total and absolute failure. Underneath it all, 4 of Pentacles, how to make the right investments. And whereas first with the 8 of Swords that was underneath, we felt powerless to even engage with that conversation. No, if we stick to our guns and, make the right investments, stick to our core values, then maybe, just maybe, we can do something right with it. Are we there yet? No. And that's okay. Will we get there? Strong possibility of a yes. Resolution. As we move towards resolution, first to find the major arcana straight across the table for Cancer in this read, we will first look towards the Hierophant, Heart of Taurus. Show us cards we need to see, please, for the Cancerian collective as we push forward. Hierophant, the Sun. Okay, and our spiritual guidance. Yeah, all these other things going right for you right now. Why can't we enjoy them to the fullest alone? To the moon. 9 of Swords. Yeah, okay. And now that it's been said, we're taking intentional actions to dig at what we either have locked away or haven't even realized of the self in our own patterns right now. Next, to the Tower. Yeah, 9 of Pentacles. Autonomy and building of the self. Don't regress. Please, Cancer, I do not want to see you dating somebody just for the sake of dating somebody and trying to make them into quote unquote the one. Do not do that. It will fail spectacularly. Next, to the Magician. Ace of Pentacles. A new opportunity is waiting. It is very much there. The thing is, it can't just be the ideal relationship. It's about proving you want to take life's journey with that person. Reframe. Lastly, to the Sun. 5 of Cups. Right now, we're only focused on the sadness of what we're hyperfixating and obsessing over, which is quote unquote to be in a relationship, rather than understanding, no, there's so much better going on around me. I need to realize and remember that. In resolution, King of Pentacles. Now that everything's laid out on the table, we know how to make a good investment. And also the Knight of Wands, the freedom to actually be. Underneath it all, 2 of Pentacles. And from a 2 to a 4, and then an 8. We make it balance out. It will happen eventually. Right now, we gotta remember who we are. In summary, Cancer, it's okay to be alone. That's probably gonna be the title of this video. It's okay to be alone. Everything else from a big leap that you took rather recently, everything else was going good, but then you started to hyperfixate over, well, if everything was going good, why don't I have somebody that I'm dating right now? Because that's the wrong framework to go at it with. If everything's going good, maybe I just want you to give this consideration. You leveled up very much recently. you have been quote unquote successful in having many dates or engaging with many different and new people, and simultaneously none of them were right for you. Maybe the universe is trying to match you up to the success that you just made. Just a consideration. But we're focusing so much on relationship equals self worth, and therefore having no relationship equates to no self worth, that we're starting to regress into old patterns. And so, to prevent that, right now, things are being taken away in terms of the romance department because you are better off alone. It is okay to be alone. Next to everything underneath, yeah, we're not seeing the beauty of everything happening right now. So many things, so many opportunities laid out before us, and we're just saying, oh, I just wish I was dating and cuddled up with somebody. And we're not enjoying everything else that we did. We're just forgetting all the other things. We will not be able to appreciate the sun, and then when the sun goes away, we're going to cry that it's gone. Here and now, make that investment, Cancer. We can make it work, but right now, I'm going to say this: tarot card reader to recipient, and hopefully friend to friend, heart to heart. Right now, you are better off alone. That's what I got in your read today, Cancer. I hope this conversation helped. And yeah, instead of focusing on loving an abstract, let's love a tangible. Let's love a reality. Let's love ourselves. I'll see you around, okay? Take care.